What's up, Internet, and welcome to On the Screen, the what's supposed to be monthly podcast, where we discuss a variety of topics revolving around the media we consume on the screen. I'm Tomato Man from, the YieldTomato gaming channel on YouTube, and joining us this month is Zombie Hand from Gaming Theater Presents. And today, we're going to cover some of our favorite games from the year 2000. Now, specifically the year 2000. Yeah.
Year 2000. I feel like I have two, but I have to make sure that they actually came out then.
Right? Yeah, I was trying to think of one that's gonna.
One of mine is out.
I just sent you a list here of critically acclaimed titles, is what it says, but you can sort them all by release date, and these are all games that came out that year. And these are apparently all, of a 90 meta score or higher. I didn't realize that. I was hoping for all of them.
I'm looking at 2000s in video games. Or 2000 in video games.
Oh, okay, so here's a better one. Here's an IMDb list.
Here's the one I've got.
Okay, maybe yours is better.
You guys sorted it by game title.
That is literally the same list that I sent.
Did I not even look? Oh.
Yeah, it's the same one.
You said IMDb, so.
I just found an IMDb one, which has 600 titles listed.
All right. Here we go.
So if you want, you can search for what you were looking for through this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think there's only one.
Oh wow, that came out that year? Oh, this is totally backwards. Hold on, I clicked the thing differently. I'm thinking out loud here. Okay, so I've got a list here, and I hit release date when I meant to hit user rating just to see what the general consensus was, and I didn't play that game. I did play these games, though.
There's two, but I am going to look at your list really quick. All right. A to Z.
Ooh. I played a lot of that one. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a way better list. Okay, this might take a second.
Yeah, right? I'd say who wants to... Oh, Jesus, I just saw another good one on there. Okay. I'd say who wants to start, but really, it's just the two of us this time around.
Titles.
I was originally conceptualizing this as us, like, kind of saying this is our game of the year, and I kind of want to stick to that. Like, us discussing, like, why we think this is the game of the year for said year.
Okay. Well, this is going to take me a second, because right now I'm at 2 that I saw.
This is rough.
I guess 3, but one of them is very much in hindsight, because I didn't play it until this year.
I mean, you don't have to have played it back in the day for it to be what you consider one of the best games to have released in that year.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter when you get to it, so long as you got to it.
But I still feel like, why is that one so high up? When did R start coming into the B section? That's weird. Oh my god, Blue's Reading Time Activities. That's the one.
All right, well, I guess we're not having a discussion then. It's just been decided. That's the winner.
Oh, wow.
Like, looking through this, it's like, I totally get... Okay, so IMDb's list is... I have it sorted by user ratings here, and according to the user base, the general consensus is that... No, not Christina Aguilera, Follow Your Dreams. How dare you? Is that Forgotten Realms Baldur's Gate 2 was the best game released in the year 2000. I beg to differ because I think the two games directly under it are superior titles, being...
Daikatana?
No.
Can I guess what they are?
You're welcome to guess what number 2 and 3 for the year 2000 was, according to IMDb user ratings.
Resident Evil Code Veronica and Final Fantasy IX.
No.
That's stupid. They're wrong.
I mean, do you really want
Metal
to...
Gear Solid?
I was going to say, do you want to say Deus Ex and Metal Gear Solid don't belong up there?
Well, I mean, Deus Ex hasn't really aged great.
I mean, yes and no. I say yes and no because the concept
the concept is definitely still prevalent.
Oh yeah, and also again, not a matter of how well it's aged, but how, you know, how good it was for its time. That's the thing that's really like, because we're not like thinking, you know, aging wise. Because I mean, let's face it, the best thing that's aged on here is probably actually, Pokemon Crystal, which is number 10, which is fair because I distinctly remember freaking the hell out when Pokemon Crystal came out. I loved that game to death. But we also had some very strange, underappreciated gems like Alice, American McGee's Alice specifically, and Vagrant Story. Oh, Hitman, there you go.
Yeah, the first Hitman came out that day. It's very difficult to play now, but I'm sure at the time it was great.
Oh yeah, Banjo-Tooie, Paper Mario.
Paper Mario!
I mean, hell, Mega Man Legends 2.
Dude, Jet Set Radio.
Oh yeah. You also had some insane hitters, as far as I'm concerned, such as Skies of Arcadia and Diablo 2.
Never played either.
Oh my god. Okay, so Diablo 2 was a fucking thing for me in middle school, man. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. You know, the year 2000, Resident Evil Code Veronica, hands down. But then I'm like, oh shit, Metal Gear Solid came out that year. Oh shit, Lunar came out that year. Oh shit.
Lunar 2.
Yeah. Oh shit, Diablo 2, which I played to death with my friends. I mean, my god, the number of characters and the attempts at hacking the game and crashing the game very hard. Trying to get unique and cool items like with extra sockets and shit. Oh,
Mario
man.
Tennis and Mario Party 3 came out.
Ooh, Phantasy Star Online.
McDonald's.exe.
Fuck. Okay, yep. Yeah, this is gonna be hard.
Whoa. Have you seen this thing about McDonald's.exe?
No. Is that a creepypasta?
Let me read this to you. When the user launches the program, the screen turns black and some weird green Chinese text appears, which is a horror story. A few seconds later, the text disappears and the screen returns to its original state. Shortly after, a dialog window appears with some Chinese text, an email address, and a phone number. After a short delay from when the user closes the window, a black and white picture of a girl with no eyes will pop up along with a short scream. The image will continue to be displayed at 2-minute intervals until the process is terminated and deleted in the task manager.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that sounds like something I don't want to take part in, and I like scary games.
Oh shit, Digimon World 1 came out in the year 2000. I loved that game.
I did not play that one.
It's like the Tamagotchi, only like unique world to roam around in with a Digimon following you. It's fun.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, Grandia 2 came out. Man, you know, in hindsight, the year 2000 had some killer games.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, Spider-Man. I played the hell out of that.
Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. That's so niche.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Power Stone 2. Dino Crisis 2. Oh.
Oddworld. Oh, that's Oddworld Adventures, too. I don't know if that's the same thing. Pac-Man Adventures in Time. Oh, look at Paper Mario. Perfect Dark.
Fuck yeah, Hydro Thunder. Okay. At this point, we're just going through and we're just reading off all these games. But
all right. I have my contenders.
Let's hear your contenders. I'd like to know what you would consider for your top slot of, well, I mean, best game of the year 2000. Your game of the year, if you would.
This is coming from a place where the ones that I have played.
Of course.
So there's a lot of these I don't know, and one of these is going to be, it's going to be difficult to rule out because I really love it, but I didn't put as much time into it.
I totally understand.
So my ties for top 2, I think, would actually be Final Fantasy IX and Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I put a lot of time and emotion. I think Final Fantasy IX was one of the first games that like actually broke my heart when I played it. Like I loved it and it was so good. But I remember just being like emotional at the end of it because I didn't know what to expect. Like prior to that time, I was 13 or 14 when it came out and I beat it. I think I must have been, if it came out in 2000, I must have been 14. But yeah, wait, how does time work? 2000? I might have been 13. Doesn't matter. Anyway, prior to that, I had played a lot of games that I loved, but I hadn't played any games that I had beat. And so I think that was one of the first games that I had ever beat. Oh my god, I have another contender. But it's a joke contender. Okay, I'll keep going and then I'm coming back to this one.
Go ahead.
And so when I got to the ending, I didn't know what to expect. And then, just like getting to a point where I'm like, I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know what's going to come of these characters that I've spent the last 40 some odd hours with. What's going to come of them. And then I beat it and I had no help from anybody else. And that, prior to this, I'd had, help from like my brothers or friends or whatever.
And to be fair too, if you had chosen to get the guide for that game,
I did not.
That was a shit guide.
Yeah, no, I went through it all on my own, and I remember getting lost at one point because I was supposed to go somewhere and I couldn't figure out where to go or how to get there, and so I ended up like going back and forth between two places, accidentally level grinding.
Oh god, yeah.
And I also remember there was one point when I had equipped Garnet with a weapon that, and this is before I also really paid attention to this, I was just like, oh, this makes her strong. But one of the side effects of this weapon was that she would heal enemies. And so I didn't know what I had done, but every time she attacked, she would be healing the enemies. And I was like, you're useless. Why are you in my party? And then later on, when I finally sat down and started looking at the equipment that I had on my characters, I was like, oh, I did this.
Oh, I'm the useless one.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and walk into traffic now.
Yeah, I'll just go sit myself in the corner. That's fine. So I really loved that one, but the ending was like probably one of the happiest Final Fantasy endings that, exists. And
interesting, okay.
I feel, anyway, because everybody makes it out alive. Blank, who was frozen in the forest, or turned to stone in the forest, he's alive again. Garnet and Zidane are together. It just felt like a really good, solid, happy ending, and it really appeased my heart. And so I remember the ending being like, I was on edge, I was a little bit devastated, and then good things happened, and I cried. It was one of the first games I actually legitimately cried at. So I really loved that one. But I played Metal Gear Solid this year. I still need to do 2 and 4 because I'm going in chronological order. So I need to actually do 2 and 4, but 1 is just like really solid storytelling.
Yeah.
Like it was so good, and you can definitely see the leap in graphics between Metal Gear 1 and 2 and then Metal Gear Solid. And there's just this great leap in graphics. There's a really good leap in storytelling and dialogue and everything, and so you can really like that also, but also it was fun and super interesting to play and emotional. And also I really love Meryl. Like she's one of the best.
Okay, so I have to ask on this. You played the PlayStation 1 version, right?
I played whichever one is in the Metal Gear collection.
The Legacy collection?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, that's the PS1 edition. Chicho, Mr. Yield Man, would have some great things for us to discuss on this, because him and I both played the hell out of the Twin Snakes, which is the GameCube version, which uses the Metal Gear Solid 2 engine to remake Metal Gear Solid 1 for the GameCube. And they alter a number of scenes to make them more quote-unquote cinematic. And the way Chicho would describe it is Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1 is how it happened. Metal Gear Solid on the GameCube is how Snake tells the story.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
well, I have a GameCube, so maybe I'll have to find a copy of the game.
It's really good. I really loved the GameCube version, and the Psycho Mantis moments were swapped from just general Konami games to Konami games and Nintendo games. Like, oh, I see you like to play Super Mario Sunshine. You know, that kind of thing. Simply because that game exists because Miyamoto suggested to Kojima that he put Metal Gear on the GameCube. So he's just like, yeah, okay. That's how it happened, basically.
That's hilarious.
So they're both worth experiencing, because there is kind of a slightly more camp to the Twin Snakes, but there is some very, like, cinematically epic moments in it. Like, from the perspective of someone who took a lot of film related courses. So I look at things in that kind of eye, and I have fun with, you know, seeing the camera work they do in that, even though that can be unrealistic because it's a video game and there is no camera. But
right. But still.
But yeah.
So I have a runner-up, and then I have my joke runner-up, but I'm gonna save the joke one for later.
Ooh,
my runner-up is Code Veronica.
Is which one?
Code Veronica.
Okay. Now, when did you play that one?
I mean, if it wasn't in 2000, it was within 3 or 4 years of it coming out.
Okay.
I didn't play a ton of it. I was never really good at it, and I loved it, but I ended up playing a bunch with my dad. So, I don't know. That one, I really like it, but it's also been a long time since I've played it. But yeah, I mean, I think that one's my runner-up. But I think the other two are just stronger titles.
I can understand where you come from with that for sure, especially when you look at how Metal Gear Solid is just an example of, as you would say, storytelling, and how it can be progressed into, you know, the 3D realm, and the way that they can play with environments for gameplay. All kinds of stuff like that was very, very, like, just the new thing. Everything about that game was just beyond what people thought would be done with video games. And
yeah, and then it was also, you know, the Kojima-isms, like, there had been hardly any games before that, you know, messed with the players in the way
directly,
that
yeah.
one did.
It's one of the first, if not the first. Well, okay,
yeah.
So I know it's not the first, because a lot of point-and-click games would do that. But, like, it was one of the most influential in that respect, for at least the console side of things. And then Final Fantasy IX is the swan song, and considered by many the pinnacle of the franchise. And swan song, I say to Hironobu Sakaguchi, the father of the series, who stepped away from the franchise as a whole.
Oh yeah.
After that game. And so oddly enough, I have to say about Final Fantasy IX, I barely played it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very unfamiliar with that game specifically.
That's okay. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I have not gone back and replayed it. Like, when I beat it, I was so moved by it that I immediately restarted it, got through disc 1, and then never touched it again. Oof. And then I recently got it on the Switch with the intent of replaying it, played maybe 45 minutes of it, and haven't touched it again. And not that it's bad, it's just I don't think it's my style. I don't think it's my game anymore.
Right.
But,
I get you.
When I was like 13, 14-ish, like, that game was so beautiful to me.
Yeah, it did for you what it needed to at the time, and that's what's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, with Code Veronica, I myself did not play a heck of a lot of it back in the day. My big push in was like my big plays way back when it came to that franchise was Resident Evil 2, and then
Yeah.
I just like full bore Resident Evil 4. Like I bought a GameCube with the intent of it's like, oh, Resident Evil 4 is going to be exclusive to GameCube. Guess I'm buying a GameCube. And then I bought a GameCube, and 4 days later, I bought Resident Evil 4 because that was the day that it came out. And my GameCube came with a $15 manufacturer coupon, and I used that and got the game for $15 off.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I worked that shit. And then I have proceeded to have since beaten Resident Evil 4 500 bajillion times. But
As you should.
Exactly. But with Code Veronica, I have gone back to it over the years, and I really like the puzzles. I fucking hate Steve.
Dude, I really...
And
like,
I hate him for his voice, and that's really it.
I feel the same. I think that that's also part of why I advocate for a remake of it so bad, is because they could do Steve way less dirty.
Oh, yeah, just play the Dark Side Chronicles, and you get Yuri Lowenthal voicing him, and he does fantastic.
Yeah. I have a lot of feelings about Steve. Primarily that I think that the fandom gives him a hard time that he's not due. It's the same reason... I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's part of why we're doing this, is to discuss the games in relative detail, and then you say which one you believe, I don't know, knocks them all off their high horses.
Yeah. So, I know this is going to be a weird opinion. I feel like Hope from Final Fantasy 13 gets undue hate because everyone's just like, he's whiny and I hate hearing him talk and blah blah blah. And like, I get it, like, it's hard as an adult to listen to a 14-year-old, you know, be mad and not have a backbone and whatever, but like, he's 14 and he watched his mom die, and like, he doesn't have a very positive like image of his dad, and so, you know, like, it like, you be 14 and go through what he has and not be a whiny little brat. And yeah. I feel similarly about Steve, is like, dude was 17, had to shoot his dad, like, he's lost his family to this stupid research, you know. I don't know, I just feel like Steve, yeah, hate his voice all you want, but I really feel like people need better reasons. I mean, again, hate his voice, but people need better reasons to hate the character.
I said I was sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, that's really my only gripe with Steve, is that I hated the way he spoke. That was it.
I'm not even mad at him, like, telling Claire that he loves her at the end. Like, yeah, they've known each other, like, less than a day.
Okay,
but...
yeah, I forgot about that, and I think I've played that game more recently than you.
Yeah, well, he tells her that he loves her, but I think that, you know, he's scared. He's in a place where he might die. She's one of his only positive interactions in this whole place. Like, it's easy to become attached, and so I don't think that she loves him too, but I think that she was trying to make his last moments, you know, be better.
Yeah, more bearable kind of deal.
Yeah, so I think that she definitely... I don't think she hated him. I think she was annoyed with him at first.
Oh,
and
hell
I don't
yeah.
I don't think that she thinks, like, oh man, that kid was annoying or whatever. Like, I think that his death still weighs on her. But I don't think that they were in love with each other.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Anyway, those are my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, and just to touch on the whole thing with Hope, I do agree that I think he got a lot of unjust hate, and I think I kind of relate to Hope in a lot of respects, simply because my uncle was murdered when I was 15. So that's kind of like and it was by someone that that we knew because it was actually his wife.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. It was rough for the family, and it was basically it was the start of the bad things happen in sets of threes kind of deal for me at the time, because we also had a burglary at our home like within 3 months. So
Jeez.
it was a rough 15th year for me. So I guess because of that, I didn't have the same viewpoint on Hope. With like the only thing I had an issue with is like he blamed Snow. It's like, you literally watched Snow trying to pull her up.
Yeah, I mean, from the distance, it might have looked like he was trying to drop her, or that he let her fall or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but I think that I also feel like it's easy to be annoyed at him
Yeah.
because, he should have, oh, like, why didn't he say anything sooner? Like, sometimes people just don't have backbones to say things. Like, there are things that I now would say to people that I didn't say to them. Like, in high school, there were things that happened that I should absolutely have said something about, but I didn't have the backbone, I didn't have the spine for it, and I let things happen back then that I would never let have happen to me now.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe Hope in 20 years will have, what he needs to.
Yeah, I should play Lightning Returns then. Then maybe I can figure that out.
Oh, I loved Lightning Returns. Like, honestly, I feel like it is one of the
Interesting.
stronger
Okay.
games in the trilogy.
All right. But yeah, that was just my thing. Is like, I think I understood Hope better than I understood Steve, simply because the age was more relatable for me with a similar, I say with air quotes, situation with a close family member. So it's whatever with that. But
Yeah.
what was your quote joke runner up?
You don't want me to save that for later?
Oh, is this not your? Was that not the end of it for you?
Oh, I mean, those were, but I didn't know if you wanted me to wait until after you had listed yours.
Oh, no! I want to hear it. Let's go.
Okay. So, I'm gonna put this out here. I don't think that it is Game of the Year material by any stretch of the imagination. But the amount of time I put into the game is beyond ridiculous. I played it so much with my cousins. In fact, I actually busted it out I think it was about 7 years ago, and spent like 6 months playing it again with me and some friends. Super fun. Not great. Definitely could have been better. The bouncer.
Yeah, that's definitely not Game of the Year material, but
no, but I played it so much with my cousins. Like, we had started to S rank characters. They had a family friend who used to come over a lot, and they would they had a son, and the son would play it, and he was probably like where I was, 13, 14ish. He was probably like 10, but he hyper focused on this game so hard that he was S ranking the characters who you fight once in the game, and that's the only way they level up for the battling portion, is by you fighting them in the main portion of the game. He had started to S rank those guys.
whoa.
So it was a wild time, but me and my cousin used to play it every time I went to visit her. We had a ton of fun with it. So no, it's not a great game, but I have really fond memories of it. And then in 2014, I did a Square Enix Christmas party,
Yes.
or like Squaresoft/Square Enix Christmas party, and for funsies, I busted out the bouncer as something for us, because I always try and have, at any of the parties, like a movie or a game or something going on that we can play.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I brought out the bouncer, and then me and my friend Krista and Liz, our other friend Liz, all spent about 6 months coming over and playing it. I got a PS2 multi-tap, literally so we could play this game together. Yeah, it was...
That's fantastic.
That's literally the only reason I have a multi-tap, is because we wanted to play that game together.
Yeah, the nostalgia goggles can definitely make a game better.
I'm under no impression that it's actually a good game. And in fact, Liz and Krista also didn't think it was a good game, but we all had fun with it. And I think that was all that mattered, is that we were just having fun.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, a bad game can become a fun game just by having the right people around. So
definitely not Game of the Year material, but runner-up, because the fun that I had with it was phenomenal.
Very nice. Now, I'm curious for you, simply because one of the games on your list here, you only really played within the last year, and another you played, what? Oh, Jesus Christ, 20 years ago. How is that going to stack up for you? Like, how is the nostalgia and the effect it had on you when you were younger going to outshine the excellence you've experienced only recently? Or is what you've experienced recently going to kind of push aside that which you loved as a child?
So are you saying which would I put on top, Final Fantasy IX or Metal Gear?
Yes. I'm literally at that point right now with you.
This one's so tough because like on the one hand, I played Final Fantasy IX once, and yes, it has a lot of really good memories for me, but I've never gotten past Disc 1 since. And in fact, me getting to the end of Disc 1 happened immediately after I beat it the first time. I don't really have, like, the nostalgia or the fond... Like, I don't have anything new for it, but I do have very fond memories of it. But Metal Gear Solid is so, like... I feel like this is, like, that's a game that... It's so strong that I think if I had played it at the time, it probably would have been another one that would have been, you know, like, impactful to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess it's gonna depend on time frame, because like if I hadn't played Final Fantasy IX at all until recently, like at about the time that I played Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid would win. But at the time, I was so much more into an RPG hype, and I wasn't good at stealth games, and I didn't have the same enjoyment of them. So I think at the time, Final Fantasy IX would have still won. Like,
interesting.
So I think that would have been... I think that Metal Gear Solid would have been impactful, and I would still have loved it, but it was so far outside my wheelhouse that I don't know, without, you know, going back 21 years.
Yeah.
How it would have stacked up at the time, or if I even would have beat it at the time, because it was not a game that I would really have looked at the time. So I feel like, depending on the time frame, like in 2000, I think Final Fantasy IX would still have won. But if I was doing it all now, it would have been Metal Gear.
So you're gonna say Metal Gear?
Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean,
you knew what I meant, but
yeah. I'm fishing for a straightforward answer here is all. Which I am horrible at delivering myself. So
well, that's as straightforward as I'm going to be able to give you. In the year 2000, it would have been Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah, asking 14-year-old Liz, Final Fantasy IX. Asking insert age now Liz, Metal Gear Solid.
34.
There you go. See, I don't math. I'm mathed out today. So
that's totally understandable.
Oh man, yeah.
Do you want to help me make a decision really quick before we continue on?
Yeah, sure.
So Square Enix is having a sale on their website. And I am trying to decide between, because I'm on a little bit of a budget right now.
What? No.
I know. do I want to get Final Fantasy X and X-2 Remaster for the Switch? Or do I want to get the Collection of Mana? Because they're both on sale for $20 right now. But I have only played one of the games that's in Collection of Mana, which is Secret of Mana.
Okay, so
But I love Final Fantasy X and will probably play it a ton.
So I have a very solid argument for this. At least in my opinion, it's a solid argument.
Okay.
Get Collection of Mana over 10, and I say that because Collection of Mana is the only legal way to experience
Final Fantasy Legend.
No, because that was on the Game Boy. Secret of Mana 2, Seiken Densetsu 3.
Oh.
Because that never got released in America until the Collection of Mana.
Okay. All right, I'll do it. I'll get Final Fantasy X later. It's not like I don't have Final Fantasy X
on 5 billion other machines.
Literally PS2, 3, 4, and Steam.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, I feel that's the most justified reason to get, because like that's the thing, when that game came up as like, oh, it's coming to North America, I could not hit the pre-order button fast enough because it's literally the only way to legally experience it. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be that guy who like, oh, I gotta get a fan-translated Super Nintendo. No, I'm just gonna get the legal version and be like, hey, check it out, I can play it.
There you go. Okay. You make a fair argument. I will do that, and then I have Final Fantasy X on my Switch, or my Nintendo eShop wishlist anyway, so.
I was also butthurt that they released the 10 and 10-2 collection on PS4 after I bought it on PS3.
Oh.
Yeah, like right after. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah,
So,
I am the sucker that will get them. I have a physical copy of every numbered Final Fantasy except for 11 and 14. So I have Final Fantasy X. In fact, my copy of Final Fantasy X is actually signed by Titus's voice actor. I met him.
what?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I don't have 10 and 10-2 on the PS4. I have it on PS2 and PS3.
Hey, welcome to the club.
I should get it on PS4. Yeah, he was at FanX the last time I was able to go with my friend Liz. And so I met his voice actor, and I got him to sign my copy of Final Fantasy X. I'll send
That's
you
cool.
really quick.
That's super neat.
So cool.
He's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. No.
Oh, he was there for Clone Wars.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He's Obi-Wan in Clone Wars.
Oh, is he? That's actually awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. There you go. I sent you a picture. All right. Now we can continue.
Listen to my story. No. You self-indulgent bastard. No.
I love him. I love Titus.
I love how you use this as an excuse to put focus on the bouncer.
Yeah, which is also signed. Can you believe I got Mary Elizabeth McGlynn? Well, my cousin got Mary Elizabeth McGlynn to sign the bouncer.
Of all things.
Of all things.
I mean,
but I
look
got
at
her
that
to
Sora
sign
ripoff on the cover.
Yeah, I got her to sign the Silent Hill 3 soundtrack, which I gave to my dad.
Oh. See, now who do you have that signed your Dissidia?
It is the voice actor for Zidane and Firion.
Nice. Oh, Johnny Young Bosch. All right.
Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch comes to, whenever we're allowed to have them, he likes to come to the Idaho conventions.
Nice. See, I would have Johnny Young Bosch at this point. For me, I would actually drag out my wife's Trigun collection on DVD, and
I would have him sign Persona 4.
Oh, for you, yeah.
For me?
No, I mean you. That's the name of the character that he voiced.
He played. Johnny Young Bosch played Adachi.
Pretty sure he also played you.
I don't think you're right. I think that was your.
It was not Yuri. It was not Yuri Lowenthal. I know that.
Okay, hang on. No, Yuri Lowenthal played Yosuke.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he did.
Boom! Because he also reprised his role in the anime. where he speaks a shit ton more.
Johnny Young Bosch that played. Ew, Vic Mignogna's in here.
He was in Persona 4. Fuck, I'm trying to remember who he was in Persona 4. I know who he was in Persona 3.
Oh, God. Is this the animation? Oh, because he was... It says that he was one of the...
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, Vic, you've fallen. I'm sorry, my dude. There's a reason that you got replaced by Johnny Young Bosch for Broly.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's rough, buddy. Anyway,
Whoa. I need to go look at Persona 4 Golden, because I did not think Laura Bailey voiced Rise.
Oh, yeah, even on the PS2. And she reprised her role in the anime as well. In fact, I think there was only 2 people from the original cast of Persona 4 that did not reprise their role in the anime or in Golden. And Chie was one of them.
I knew about Chie.
I don't remember who the other one was, if there was. I knew Chie, I couldn't remember if there was anyone else. But Chie did a knockout job, because you can't really tell that much. At least I couldn't, but...
Yeah, here we go. Johnny Young Bosch also played Adachi.
Okay, so hey, we were both right. Woo!
I'm gonna look up Golden really. I know I've derailed us like I always tend to, but...
I kinda didn't help by asking questions.
Okay, so yeah, there's Chie. Laura Bailey still voiced Rise. I wonder if I knew that, and I just forgot it, or if this is news to me regardless. Like, I honestly don't know.
Did I learn a thing?
Yeah, did I learn a thing or did I not learn a thing? Anyway, before I let you go, or let you continue, I love Margaret. Margaret's amazing. All right.
Okay. All right. Oh, man. So, man, I didn't realize how many games, like, I actually thoroughly enjoyed that were released in the year 2000. Like, I love Metal Gear Solid, but after they introduced the third-person perspective with 3 Subsistence, excuse me, it's really, really hard to go back to 1, especially because I don't like loading PS1 games, so I'll play almost any other way I can. If you ever played Chrono Trigger on the PS1, you would understand.
I have not, because I played it on the Super Nintendo a million times to the point that I had the script for the first half of the game memorized.
Oh, hey, you do that too?
Yeah, but I just played it so many times. And then I played it on the DS.
That's fair. Yeah, that's actually considered the best version of the game is the DS version.
Because it's so good.
Well, they added extra dungeons and at least one more ending.
I know.
So, you know, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. Also, I loved that monster fighting minigame.
Yeah. Gosh, man, going through here, though. I'm not a fighting game person, really. Otherwise, I'd be considering things like KOF 99 or Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Especially Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Man. So, my contenders, I think, are gonna have to be... Pokemon Crystal and Diablo 2.
Okay, give me one quick...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Are you gonna look stuff up? Are you pulling up references? Or did you run away?
Okay, I tried to make that fast. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please continue.
You ran away. Okay.
I did. I had to go get my Switch, and it was in my backpack in the living room. So.
Oh no.
No, it's okay.
So yeah. Yeah, it's. I think it's gonna end up being
Pick one.
Diablo 2 versus Pokemon Crystal for a long run for me. But I think like Metal Gear Solid and Skies of Arcadia, I think are going to be some runner-ups to go alongside with Code Veronica. Now, Code Veronica, as you know, it's Code Veronica.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're whores for Resident Evil, so that's done.
It's true.
Metal Gear Solid. I mean, I'm a whore for Metal Gear Solid because I love Kojima shit, and he's weird, and I love him and everything he does for all of the wrong and the right reasons. And cat, hello kitten, you tiny little ninja. I have a ninja named Lemon.
Lemon.
Lemon, you hate being picked up. I can't pick you up. She'll cry. In fact, I'm gonna do it. Come here, Lemon. Let's see. Can I get you to squeak for the camera? Look at the little lemon.
I can't see
squeak.
Lemon.
Can you hear it? Can you hear the lemon? Lemon, squeak. Do the squeaky. Nope, she's distracted by the microphone. Okay, baby girl.
I bet if Ashley came in here, she would squeak just by me looking at her.
Oh my god, right? Where was I? I got distracted by tiny, cute, fuzzy thing.
No one can blame you.
Okay. Skies of Arcadia is an amazing turn-based RPG, which has similar elements to Final Fantasy VII in the way that you equip magic to your weapons. And it's a Sega-based turn-based RPG that I love to death, but I have never beaten and did not play back in the day. So I kind of feel like because I don't have the time invested into it and I haven't, I guess, pushed through it, that I can't really call it a true contender for the top spot for me, just because like I don't have the history with it and I have not finished it. Now, I've fallen off the Pokemon bandwagon, mind you, but Pokemon Crystal was like a game changer back then. The legendary Pokemon were worked into the story, which made it more interesting and kind of forced the hunt of them a little bit, which was neat. They added more story to it. They added new and improved animations and sprites. And yeah, I loved that game to death. And it had I don't remember, they added another new feature to it, and I feel like it was able to connect with the Game Boy Advance games to move Pokemon between the two machines.
Oh yeah.
But you couldn't do that with Gold and Silver. It was exclusively Crystal, I think. But it's been 20 years, so I don't know. God, I'm old. Now, what I will say is, I'm just going to come out and say this. I think it's going to be Diablo 2 for me, outright, because I played that game so damn much with my friends. This game was actually the reason why I think I pushed my family into getting broadband internet.
Oh. Because
playing this game with my friends over dial-up was a goddamn nightmare. But when it worked, it was the most fun. Like, we would run the dungeons, we would grind out equipment and items to craft all these new things. I would frequently play with the expansion. I ended up playing the Necromancer just because I liked having a literal army of skeletons that inflicted poison that I could say, go and kill this now. And that was just so much fun. I think I'm more excited for the remake of Diablo 2 than I realistically should be, because I haven't played the game in like 20 years. So it's like, why do I care anymore?
Because it's always nice to revisit some oldies that you love.
Yeah, it's true.
That's literally why every time they bring out Final Fantasy X again, I'm like, should I get it for another console?
Or 7 for me. Buy all the things.
Yeah.
Buy them all.
I do have a copy. I have a physical copy of 7.
I've got the
And
PC copy from way back when in the trapezoid box of Doom sitting up here.
oh my god, that just unlocked a memory for me.
Achievement unlocked.
Back when Final Fantasy VII came out, my brother wanted to, like when it came out on PC, my brother wanted to get the PC version, and so he went down to the store, and 1997 he would have been like 15, and the store clerk wouldn't let him purchase it without parental permission. I know. I don't get it. I don't know if the PC version was rated M or something, but
no.
The store clerk wouldn't let him purchase it without parental consent. So they said, go home, get a written note from your mom or your dad or whoever that says you can have it or you can buy this. So he walked home, and like granted it was like, I don't know, 15 or 20-minute walk, but still, that's easily 20 minutes down there, walking around the store to get it, trying to check out, walking home to get this written note. And then when he brought back the written note, they were like, no, we need her to come down here.
That's correct. Yeah, that's how that works. But
yeah, but they were like, we need to have her come down here. And so he walked back home, said, you need to come down. My mom said no. But she said, have them call me.
And that also doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, so he went back down to the store, said, can you call her? They did.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, they actually did. And then let him purchase the game.
That's so dumb, because it's rated teen. I mean, I just sent you a picture.
Oh.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Okay.
Square bought the company that did the PC port.
Right us. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't really know, but he owned that one for a while. And I remember because I walked down there with him when he went to go take the note down. And then when we walked back, I was like, I'm not going back.
It's like, no, I'm done. I'm over this.
Yeah.
Here, look at how big and pretty this box is.
Oh, wow.
Look at that inner flap. Look at all that stuff that's not gameplay.
I love it.
I know. And it sits comfortably up on my little pedestal above my desk.
Nice. Yeah. I have a few copies of 7, but I think not that. Definitely not that.
This was a gift from my wife one year for Christmas.
Aww.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley's here. I'm going to see if I can get her to speak for you. Did you hear her?
I did not. Microphone thresholds are...
Come on, Ashley.
Oh, I heard her.
Okay, go on, girl face. I love you. Yeah, she's very sweet, but she found her voice about 8 months after we got her.
Aw.
And it was very sweet of her. And now she uses her voice.
And now she won't shut up.
Now she alerts us whenever she sees a bug.
Oh,
She'll
good.
if nobody's in the room where she found the bug, she will just meow until someone comes to see her.
I found it!
And she gets treats every time she finds a bug.
Oh, that's adorable. But...
All right, Diablo.
yeah. Diablo 2 was just... It had the exploration that I liked. It was an RPG with leveling up. It had equipment and stats. It had spells and abilities and magics and unlocks. It was a hell of a good time just with your friends. Had a good chat system that worked. I mean, gosh, I think at one point I actually played with 4 of my friends at once. And that was amazing because now it's a struggle to play with even one of them.
Things were so much easier as kids.
Yeah, right?
In some ways.
I even remember at one point when we, for whatever reason, we didn't have internet for a little bit. I went to Walmart and took one of the AOL free 30-day trial things just so I could have internet that month. So I could play this damn game with my friends.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was great. The game is amazing. I'm actually thinking about it. It's like I should probably see when that remake comes out just for the nostalgia's sake. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the best games that I played, and even that I played relevant to the time, which is funny thinking about it, because that is a game that 100% required my mother to be there. That shit's rated M.
Yeah, not Final Fantasy VII.
No, not that gigantic T for your 15-year-old.
Yeah, 14, 15, something like that.
Well, still, though, I mean, it was over
Yeah.
13. You're fine.
Yeah, they should have just let him buy it.
Yeah. That was just like someone doing the flex, which and they're flexing when they had nothing. Like, they were curling their arm and the muscle dropped instead of raised. Like, I loved doing the flex when it was like, oh, this 10-year-old, and I mean a 10-year-old or younger, it was like, I want Grand Theft Auto 5. It's like, and I want $500,000. Go get your parents. Can I call them? No, because I can't prove that that's your parent. They need to come in here.
I've had that conversation a lot of times when I worked at GameStop.
Yeah, it's fun when it's a kid. It's frustrating when you have to explain it to the parent, because most of the time, if you have to explain it to the parent, they're freaking their ass at you for the dumbest reason. It's like, okay, well, if your kid decides to go and shoot up the post office, you can't blame me.
I could go off on a tangent about how that's not correct, but
yeah, right.
I'm not gonna.
I know.
I actually wrote a whole college paper about it.
That's fair.
But one of my favorites was when kids would come in wanting to get Grand Theft Auto 5, and I would have to say to the parent, specifically to the parent, it is rated mature for blood, gore, violence, sexual content, gambling, drug and alcohol use, whatever. Like
explicit nudity.
There were times when if the person was like if the kid was 17 and the parent didn't really care, I'd be like, rated mature for blood, gore, kind of just rattle it off like I have to.
Right.
And the parent's like, yeah, I got it. But then when the 10-year-old came in wanting GTA 5, I would look at the back of the box and I would read out every single thing.
You read it.
And I loved when the kids would be like, they'd look at their parent and just be like, I just play it for the driving. And I was like, well, if you play it for the driving, we've got plenty of driving games that I can sell to you. What about Need for Speed or something, that was one of my favorites. And like, I know there were a lot of kids who hated me because of that very thing, but I was like, don't care.
Yeah, it's the flex, man. I got to do it.
I don't need a 10-year-old playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
The thing that bothered me the most is like when I would have to do the talk and I'd have to do the spiel to the parent. It's like, you are aware the game is rated blah 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 for this, and their response is the nonchalant, they see worse at home. It's like, if they see worse at home, you need to reevaluate yourself.
Also, the fact that violence is worse than, or sexual content is worse than violence. When they're like, when I'm like, oh, there's, the violence or the sexual content is overstepping boundaries, but the violence, that's fine. I'm like, ma'am, I want you to listen to yourself real quick.
Yeah, like, how is the violence fine? Explain this to me, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, we live in a messed up world. But,
it's true. What can we do?
We can continue with our favorites.
It's true. We can go back on topic.
Yeah, no. That's okay, because honestly, I mean, I'm surprised that mine was as, like, clear-cut of just, this. But after seeing, it's like, shit, Diablo 2 came out that year? Well, I mean, shit. I played a lot of that.
Sometimes what you think is going to be a hard decision ends up not being as hard as you think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just outright. It's like there's really no contest for me. I mean, in a year that had Mega Man Legends 2 and Super Paper Mario and Banjo-Tooie and like so many just like limitless, like this was like Y2K was like the dawn of a new generation in many respects, it seems.
It's true.
Like, holy criminy, Dragon Warrior 7.
Yeah, there were some really good games in there. And I didn't even get through the whole list. I got to the T's.
Yeah,
and
no.
then I saw the Bouncer, and I was like, oh.
Oh, and then, again, Dino Crisis 2. I love Dino Crisis 2. But, no.
When did Parasite Eve come out?
98 or 99.
Well, I think it came out right around the same time as Final Fantasy VIII.
Yes, because it had a demo.
Well, and also because the training area in Final Fantasy VIII looks exactly like one of the areas in Parasite Eve.
You're right, it does.
I have a picture somewhere on my Facebook of the area in Parasite Eve because I was like, this looks exactly like a place from Final Fantasy VIII.
Alphonse, don't be a shitty kitty.
Also, the Final Fantasy VIII vinyl is on sale in Square's store.
Do it.
And I still can't get it.
What?
Oh, I want it so... It's like $50 still. I want it
but Libra
so bad.
Frete.
If I could justify it, I would get it.
How can you not?
My birthday's in December, if you want to. I don't know. I'm thinking really hard about it, though. Like, I really want it, but I just dropped $22 and that, or $25, I think.
Fuck, I just realized how stupid it was for me to type Final Fantasy in the search bar for the Square Enix store, expecting to find that. Oh my god. I need to go to bed.
Congratulations.
Brandon has had a dumb moment.
You've had a day.
Yeah. Is that back in stock yet? Because if it is, I'm gonna buy it. God damn it, still on a waiting list.
Which one?
Fucking Happy Turtle. Final Fantasy Intergrade soundtrack. I want all 12 billion versions of the Happy Turtle.
Happy Turtle.
The battle track is just a metal remix of the Happy Turtle. It's fucking amazing.
You'll get it one day. You'll get it one day.
Oh my god, they have a Chocobo necktie. Wait, do they have a Tonberry necktie? If they do, I'm buying it. This is dangerous.
We've gotten off topic.
Yes. Okay, well, this was destined to be a shorter one anyway, just because it's just the two of us.
Can make it if we try.
Right?
Just the two of us. You and I.
Yeah, it was gonna be shorter because it was less people discussing each one, but yeah, we've got we've got a lot to go with. Now, I do have other years in mind. The idea is that we could actually go through 1 year at a time throughout 19 whatever onward to current day. Like last year, what was your favorite game of 2020? There were 12 billion games released. I don't fucking know.
What did I put the most hours into?
Come here, Steam. Where are you?
The game I put the most hours into in 2020 is not a game that came out in 2020.
Yeah.
It was Persona 4 Golden.
I'm about to skin a cat.
Wow.
Alphonse is being a shit. Sorry.
Oh. Persona 4 Golden, I put 280 hours into last year.
That's fair, yeah.
And it was so fun.
Technically, the Steam version, I think, came out that year, right? Or is it 2019?
No, it was 2020, and I remember because my friend gifted it to me last year, and it was pandemic times, and that was what I spent my life doing.
I remember this now, yes.
It was amazing. And I remember because I had been working from home for a few months, and it had come out, and my friend Eric asked if I'd ever played Persona 4, and I told him I'd never played any Persona game. And he was like, and I was like, I really want to play 5 because I've heard it's really good. And he's like, can I make a suggestion? Play 4 first. And I was like, okay. He even likes 5 better. What?
Sorry. Like I said, I'm gonna skin a cat.
Oh.
He just. Oh, I'm clipping your claws after I'm done here, cat. It's happening. Whew.
Yeah, he said that he liked, 5 is probably his favorite in the series, but he thinks that playing 4 first just helps you get prepared for 5, which I definitely understand. But
yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it was last year, and I remember working from home. Whenever I had downtime, I was playing Persona 4 in the background. So
yes,
it was a good time. But so that would be my 2020. Well, might be my 2020 game of the year, only because of how many hours I put into it and because I hated the last two. That can be another conversation.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah,
All
no,
right.
2000 was definitely a year for us.
It was a good year.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. Don't forget you can check out a videocast version at youtube.com/YieldTomato. You'll also find links in the description there for our speakers. Hopefully you'll join us again for more of the magic we enjoy on the screen. Please excuse me, I am now going to go skin that animal, because he's not
Skin a cat!
Yeah, I'm about to have a pair of really nice gray gloves.
Oh no! Run, Lemon or Alphonse!
No, that's Alphonse, because Lemon's too tiny. I'd get, like, maybe half a glove.
A nice fuzzy wallet.
Oh, yeah.
Run, Alphonse!
A nice fuzzy wallet, Jackie says. All right, well,
no!
well, take care, everybody, and thanks for joining us.
Bye!